Okay, so start standing at the back of your mat. Feet hip width apart. If you know you're tighter in the back of your legs, you can take your feet wider. And then just fold forward. Any arm variation you like. You can just let your arms hang. You can grab opposite elbows. You can grab behind your head like when you do a sit-up, or if you want to go right for it, interlace your hands behind your back. Any kind of forward fold. And just start to anything that feels good. So shifting the weight in your feet forward and back, side to side, noticing how that changes the sensation you feel in the back of your legs. And really make sure you're not like gripping or holding on unnecessarily, especially in like the torso, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Just really, really allowing everything to soften and relax. Consciously soften the muscles on either side of your spine. And each exhale, you let the torso fall and soften just a little bit more. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Lift all 10 toes, spread your toes, and just really feel the four corners of your feet rooting and plugging into your mat. Start to slightly internally rotate inner thighs. Feet press down and away from one another. So your legs are charged, but the upper body is still soft. Wake up your thigh muscles, lift your kneecaps by squeezing your thighs. Keep that inward rotation. Feet press down and away from one another. And then keeping your legs, that same energy that you have in them now, you're going to spread your toes a little more and plug each one down into the floor. Active connection. Feet are still pressing down and away from one another. The torso is fully relaxed. Notice if you're holding on to anything unnecessarily. Release your hands wherever they are. Bend your knees. Head and hands stay heavy, and you slowly roll all the way up to stand. Really take your time. Feel each vertebrae stack one at a time. When you come up to stand, palms face forward. Crown of the head lengthens up. Do you still have that energy in your leg, that same charge, or have you lost it? Create it again. Lift all 10 toes, slight inward rotation through the thighs. And always like a little micro bend in your knees. Not enough that I would be able to see that your knee is bent, but you know that it's like not locked. Micro. Lift your pubic bone up towards your belly button and feel how that lengthens out your low back. Shoulder blade squeeze, collarbones wide. You're trying, but not trying too hard. Even efforts. Take an inhale, reach up and look up, big stretch, maybe a little back bend at the top if it feels nice. Exhale to swan dive all the way down. Take your time, arms wide. Hands come down to your mat. Let's come up halfway lift, flat spine. Press away from your shins. So really use your shins to help you lengthen and create space between the crown of your head and your tailbone. Keep that inward rotation feeling. Have you lost it? Exhale, release. Again, inhale, halfway lift, shoulder blade squeeze, collarbones wide. Feet press down and away. You can keep your toes lifted if you like. I find it easier to find that feeling, the toes lifted. And release. Super active lower body, super relaxed upper body. Last one, halfway lift. Use the breath to create space between each vertebrae. Flat spine, no rounding. Holding here, take your arms out by your sides. Ooh, shoulder blade squeeze to kiss and wrap around the spine. Fingertips expand, they reach far. Flat spine. Little baby bend in the knees. You're gonna feel your legs, your core. Lengthen your neck more. Belly to spine, and make sure you're your ribs aren't spilling out and belly falling down. I don't want to see this. Stay in your core, pubic bone to belly button, upper ribs in, shoulder blade squeeze, fingertips expand. 3, deep breathing. 2, and then release and fold. Relax the shoulders. One more time, halfway lift. Try to keep your hands on the floor for this one. And then walk yourself out to downward facing dog. Take a second, stretch it out. Spread your fingers wide, grip the mat. Build this down dog from the ground up. Try not to have any weight in the heels of your hands or like in your wrist. Try to press all the weight to your fingertips. Super active hands. Elbows wrap down. Neck relaxes. Using the power of your legs, like the muscles in your front of your legs, your quads, to pull your tailbone up and back through space. Get longer through your spine. Use your legs to do that, not your arms. When you're ready, press forward, high plank and hold. Elbows drop back, arms hug center. Hips and shoulders same height, so go a little higher than you think you need to. Lift your bum an inch. Bring your pubic bone closer to your belly button. Elbows drop back, arms hug in, we hold. 3, squeeze those thighs. Find that inward rotation feeling we did in the forward fold here in your plank. 2, tailbone lifts up and back, downward facing dog. You can keep your knees bent, your heels a little lifted so that you can lengthen your spine back. Maybe walk your feet a little further back, a little further than what you're used to. Move forward, high plank and pause. Hold, again, you reset it. Find everything one more time. I like to have my feet hip width. Pubic bone to belly button. Press away from every fingertip and curl your upper ribs in towards your body. Everything is working to support the whole. 3, inward rotation through the thighs. Collarbones wide. 2, if you feel this in your neck, your traps, okay, you got to lift your hips higher. Use your legs more. Slide back, down dog. Soften and stretch. Lift your heels a little higher this time. Bend your knees a little more. Turbo dog, chest to thighs. Deep breath in. Last one, press forward, high plank, hold. Pubic bone to belly button, upper ribs in. Elbows wrap back, arms hug into the midline. Everything is charged, it's all working. Look forward, press as far forward off your toes as you can. Even like maybe walk your toes up, ting, ting, little baby steps. Shoulders past wrists. Drop your knees if you need to, otherwise we slowly lower, keep moving forward. 3, 2, pause a 90, hold. 3, elbows tight. 2, all the way down to the floor. Nice work, everyone. Keep your hands where they are. Take your feet a little wider. Find that inward rotation through your thighs. Baby toes press down into the mat. As you inhale, we lift the chest. Shoulder blades squeeze, collarbones wide. Try not to use your hands too much. Exhale, release. Keep those legs reaching and long. Again, inhale. Shoulder blades squeeze, collarbones wide. Start to draw your fingertips back. So they're on the floor, but you're not really using them at all. And release. Last one, deep breath in. You lift up cobra, shoulder blades squeeze, collarbones wide. No weight in the hands, hold. 3. Shoulder blades squeeze in, elbows press back, belly to spine. Fingertips to the floor, press back, child's pose, hips to heels. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Walk both hands over towards the right, left fingertips reach a little further forward. Keep your hands glued on the floor and pull your rib cage towards the left side. So your right shoulder and right hip move closer together. And the left side expands. Switch, walk over towards your left. Right fingertips reach. Right shoulder rolls down and away. Squeeze left shoulder and left hip closer. Contract the left side to open and expand through the right. Slowly come back into center. Walk your hands closer together so that your thumbs touch, or the heels of your hands touch. And then bend your elbows, bring your thumbs to the back of your neck. Walk your elbows a little further forward and then a little closer in. Press your elbows down and draw back. Trying to create space between your shoulder blades rather than letting them slide together. So you might not get as close to the floor. You're still going to feel that really nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Hands to the floor, round and curl up, tabletop. Tuck your toes, move back, downward facing dog. High plank and pause, hold. Right toes float, get longer, crown of the head presses forward, toes lengthen back, hips a little higher. Right knee, left armpit, lift your hips high, so don't drop your hips to squeeze it in. Use the back toes, lift the hips up, shoulders stay on top of the wrist, hold 3, use the back leg, 2, hips high. 3-legged dog, up and back. Bend the top knee, open up your hip. You can stay here or you can work your left forearm down to the floor. Every inhale, knee floats higher. Exhale, foot falls closer. If you're on the elbow, you're gonna use the back toes to lift your hips high, lift the left elbow and the left heel at the same time, right knee to nose. Step the right foot through between your hands, drop your back knee. Inhale, both hands up to the sky. Right hand grabs left wrist, lean up and over to your right. Try to create space in the front of that right leg, right side hip flexor. And you're gonna feel it more through the left. Come into center, palms face one another, tuck the back toes. Right heel squeezes back, left knee squeeze forward. Activate. And then tuck the back toes, float the back knee, lift your hip just slightly above knee height. Back leg strong, thumbs press back. And then press forward off those back toes and we hinge. Thumbs keep pressing high to the sky. Keep moving forward off that back foot. And at the same time, squeeze that right heel back. 3, 2, hands to the floor. 3-legged dog. Closed hip. Lengthen through your toes. Right knee to the floor, right underneath the hip. Float the left toes back. Okay, so options here. Option 1, you can bend the left knee, reach around, grab the foot, make a teardrop, heart high, big toe high. Or you're taking a moment to practice your chin stand. I like to do 3 sunbird bows and then use a third one to kick up. If that's not you today, you're reaching around, right hand to grab left foot. We're not in a rush, so take your time. Think about bringing your hips over the back of your neck. Legs cannot be noodly, they have to be strong. You got it, there it is, hold, hold, hold. Keep reaching those toes over. And then lengthen your tailbone higher, out of the low belly. That was it, super good. Slowly release. Let's all come back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Big breath out. High plank and pause, hold. Left toes float. When the left toes float, press into your fingertips more. Take the weight out of the heels of your hands. Left knee, right armpit, hips higher. Keep your shoulders stacked. Use that back leg. You got it, you got it, you got it. 3-legged dog, up and back. Bend the top knee, open up your hip. Right elbow comes down to the floor, if you like. Always trying to press up and away, chest towards that back leg. Bottom leg does not need to be straight, heel doesn't have to touch the floor. You're gonna lift your right elbow and squeeze